Academy students, are you ready? Because we are learning about a big name. We are learning about the one that kind of started the whole 감성 vibes, atmospheric aesthetics of Korean music. We are talking about singer and composer and producer Yoon He has an insanely large spectrum of music, so we're going to be learning about this artist today. Let's go back to the debut because most of you guys nowadays, or a lot of young people nowadays, know Yoon as Anton's father, Anton from Rise, but he had his crazy days as well. So let's go learn about it. In middle school, he actually got a classic guitar from a relative and he started playing it, and that's when he became interested in music. After going to high school, he made a school band called Paper Mode, but because they had to prepare for college and because you don't have a lot of money when you're in high school, they decided that they would continue their band promotions like after they kind of had money, and they wanted to go to Sinchon, which is a neighborhood in Korea, but they had to go to military, they had to enlist, so they only left a few demo tapes and had to disband. But after the disbandment, Yoon still wanted to do music, so he went around with this demo tape around musicians and he just played it for them. And there was somebody that showed interest from these demo tapes, and that is the very famous singer Kim Hyun-sik, who is the artist of the song 내 사랑 내 곁에. One of the songs on that demo tape was called 여름밤의 꿈, a Summer Night Dream, and this was a B-side of Kim Hyun-sik's fourth album released in 1988. There's also the song 추억 속의 그대 in this demo tape, which was Hwang Chi-hoon's debut song from 1988. So it was the title track. So wow, they had a demo tape that was very successful and popular. And since then, Yoon started music as a composer, but he still cannot say goodbye to his band Paper Mode. So he did session work like 변진섭's session work, and he was kind of looking for more opportunities. And there was a back band back then, like a back band, like back dancer, like back band called 외인부대, which was 임재범's back band. And he asked 손무현, who was a guitarist from this back band of 임재범, he was like, you know what, let's do a band together. But 손무현 said, without a vocalist, we can't really do this together. So how about think of it as practice. We're also going to get paid. Let's go work for Kim Wan-sun's back band, the Diva. And Yoon was like, okay. So in the 1980s, the late 1980s, they were the back band Silhouette. Yoon was the bassist, which was Kim Wan-sun's back band. So he was there for around a year. And around the end of promoting as Kim Wan-sun's back band bassist, somebody offers him a solo debut job, a solo debut opportunity. It's because a production listened to one of the guide vocals that Yoon had recorded in the past and showed interest. So in 1990, the song 이별의 그늘 was his debut track, The Shadow of Breakup, 이별의 그늘. And a lot of people actually started talking about his looks as well. So he had glasses on, but he kind of had that academic feel, and he was very natural. It didn't look like he was trying or he was being a fashionista. So he was kind of like that nerdy, in a good way, nerdy singer. So a lot of girls really liked him. So this is way before I was born. I have known Yoon before Anton. Surprise, surprise. I knew him as an artist because we're going to talk about it later. I was a fan of... Okay, I wouldn't say fan because I didn't know much about him, but I just remember thinking, wow, his spectrum. We'll talk about it later on while we study more. But let's go listen to his debut song so we can do a little throwback together. This is 이별의 그늘 by Yoon. That was some strings right there. Let's talk about him as a composer. You were talking about Yoon on today's episode of Music Academy. So when we think about Yoon a lot of people probably think of the melody lines that are very like not vibey. How do I say it? Deep and blue. But not only can he do ballad, he does a lot of synth pop as well, trendy synth pop. So Yoon's songs aren't strong songs that are going to shock you, but more of the songs that naturally just blend into your life. It's a mix of electronic and analog, and it's a sound that isn't too strong, but once you realize it, you're in love. But Yoon also is a producer as well. So a ballad, pop, electronic. He does so many genres. Let's talk about some of the songs that he made. I did not know about this, but the huge hit 보랏빛 향기 by Kang Suji, which is a crazy insane hit in Korea. Kang Suji, when Suzy first came out, like the actual Miss A Suzy, people were saying, wow, she's going to be she's like Kang Suji, because this was the classic original first love image of Korea. And he made this song. And then there was 이병열차 안에서 by Kim Min-woo, the classic enlistment song. And then he said that 보랏빛 향기 and 혼자만의 겨울, which are songs by Kang Soo-ji, he did the producing of this. So people say that he was like the one that made Kang Soo-ji into a huge hit. So he says that more than a singer, he earned more money as a composer, and I'm not surprised. And here's a list of some other songs that he produced. 김현식, 변진섭, 강수지, 황치훈, 김민우, 이승환, 이소은, 엄정화, 이수영, 박효신, 김동률, 성시경, 박화요비. Wow, he's just A-class producer. Wow. I really want you guys to listen to 보랏빛 향기, Purple Breeze, if you haven't heard about it yet. And I really highly recommend you guys go search up the live video of this as well, because she is just so pretty. This is a textbook thing as well. She is like the textbook pretty of Korea. So we'll be back after the song that Yoon produced, 보랏빛 향기 by Kang Soo-ji. That was 보랏빛 향기 by Kang Soo-ji, produced by our artist of the day, Yoon. Did you know that he's also somebody that can do idol music? Oh my gosh, this is why I know him. So he was the producer of Lovelyz for a very long time. At Chu, that song was made by him. That was when I was like, wow, this person that I thought was kind of from the older days is hip. He's so trendy. And he also made Time for the Moon Night, 밤 by Girlfriend, G-Friend, 여자친구. And the chord progressions, they're so idol-like. So Yoon kind of blended his own style into the idol music style. And in the 2000s, when Yoon and SM were under a contract, there were artists like 천상지희, 보아, TVXQ, SES, and he also participated in their albums as well. So he has been kind of related to the idol industry for quite a long time. There's a little fun work that he did as well in 2019 for KBS News 7 and KBS News 9. He also worked on the title tracks for that. Wait, that's so interesting. That's a really fun work to do. Kind of random, but I feel like if you're a composer or if you're a producer, a top liner, a singer, you do works other than music as well, like the music you guys would be streaming. For instance, I worked on some music that I have not told you before because sometimes I just don't want to tell people I did it because it's not really my singer-songwriter job. But sometimes I actually do sign an NDA that I won't go around saying I worked on this, but I have worked on some projects that aren't K-pop or pop that are music. You know, for instance, Yoon worked on the KBS News theme song, right? Something like that, you know, like a theme song or a commercial song. There are projects that I worked on that nobody knows that it's me. I guess if you tried to look for it, you could, but you wouldn't know it's me because it doesn't say it's Iris. So yeah, I feel like a lot of composers and singer-songwriters do this as well. So Yoon he can do everything. Aren't you guys curious about what kind of idol songs Yoon worked on? Let's go listen to what it sounds like. At You by Lovelyz and Pump Time for the Moon Night by G Friend. That was At You by Lovelyz and Pam, Time for the Moon Night by G Friend. You know, Yoon songs, when people listen to it, they kind of say that it reminds them of a specific time. For instance, More Than Daylight, kind of around sunset and the city lights slowly start turning on. That time between dinner and night, like evening and night. So it's not too strong, but it's something that kind of stays next to you. And when you listen to his songs, you can kind of imagine yourself walking home with earphones on, or looking outside the window from the subway, or just doing nothing and for no reason being sentimental at night. I guess that is kind of the Yoon aesthetic that we can think of. And also, I think the point from this comes from how he doesn't portray sadness, obviously. He doesn't make it obvious. So he doesn't make you want to cry, but it kind of makes you think, all right, you know? So I think that's why it kind of lingers for a longer time around you. And also, in Yoon songs, something feels empty. He never really makes it too much or over the top, and there's something empty, so the listeners can kind of fill in that emptiness with their own sound or their own feelings. So that when we listen to the song, sometimes people reminisce what happened to them, and some other people, they use it to finish off their day or to get ready for a new day. So nowadays, there's so many songs out there that are just so strong and poppy. But I think Yoon songs are forever loved because there is that soft spot, that emptiness that people keep going back to and back to. I feel like you'll understand what we're talking about a little bit more if you listen to more of his songs that he released. So let's go listen to more. 가려진 시간 사이로 and 한 걸음 더, both by Yoon. Wow, a city pop. Ballad and city pop. 가려진 시간 사이로 and 한 걸음 더 were the two tracks we listened to by Yoon. And recently, not only is he working on music, but he's really paying attention to helping a lot of juniors. He is a professor teaching popular music at a university currently, so he is connecting with the next generation and helping them with all of the know-hows that he has and everything that he knows himself. And he's kind of like that musician, but also mento, because he's like that teacher. He helps a lot of people. And in 2025, he made a team called Team Yoon and started a K-pop creation project. So this isn't just making a song, but he works with a lot of creators like lyricists, composers, and producers. And they make trendy music that is used for K-pop, and they're trying new sounds as well. So he's not somebody that just stays within his style and range, but he's always looking for what the music market needs, what the industry wants, and he's just studying and trying out more things and challenging himself. Something else we should keep in mind as well, he came back as a radio DJ. Whoa, okay. So he is doing something other than music as well, so he's not just an artist. But he's somebody that always tries to improve, tries new things. You can listen to him and see him on stage, in the recording room, in the studio, at college, in the conference rooms. He's just always there. He is a musician for real. Let's go listen to another song by Yoon 너에게 by Yoon.
Download the Arirang Radio application.
Type in
ARIRANG.
Arirang Radio on your app store.
Download it and listen to
Arirang Radio.
88.7 in Jeju City.
88.1 in Seogwipo City.
101.9 in the Daejeong area.
Tune in, Arirang Radio.
I hope you guys enjoyed learning about Yoon today. I definitely did. And I hope you guys enjoyed the songs that we listened to, because it's so different, like the range, and maybe some of them can be in your playlist. Tomorrow is a Sunday. I'm going to be back, obviously, for Staffify, where we listen to our staff pick K-pop songs. And I'll be listening to the messages you guys sent me, and we'll listen to your song request. So I'll see you guys tomorrow at 2 p.m. on Arirang Radio. The last two songs for today is 우리만 아는 시간 by Kim Soo-young, soundtrack of Shining, and 내가 알 수 없는 말 by Junkie, featuring